Promo, baby.
Promo.
Thank you, Irene.
Such fucking douchebags.
I swear to God, I did read it today. I read them both. I skimmed the last one though quickly.
Which one? Yesterday's?
Yeah,
Tomorrow's?
yesterday's. Tomorrow.
Welcome to the bottom of the
Jesus. No, you're the one that's fucking it all up.
Are you been drinking today?
Nope, it's been a great day. Thank you.
Really?
He's fat, Rich. He's a lot fatter than us, so those fat cells store a lot of alcohol, so it just slowly bleeds into his gut constantly
potato.
all day.
It's like a potato. It's fermenting inside of me. Woo.
All right, Red Bliss.
You do look like a potato.
Oh, my Red Bliss. I don't even look red.
I'm just gonna start calling you a different brand of potato from here on out.
You only can probably name 3.
All right, yellow potato.
I thought he was going sweet potato there. Definitely thought I was going sweet.
You're definitely not a sweet potato.
Or a russet. You're a russet, more of a russet brown tomato.
Yeah.
Potato. When it's brown, flush it down.
You're some kind of fat spud. That's all we know.
They make fucking purple potatoes. These weird colored ones now. It's fucking weird.
Oh, I don't live that lifestyle that you
So
have.
your favorite salad is potato.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually mayonnaise with a side of potato. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. And an egg, hard-boiled egg.
Oh, sure. Yeah. But you got to get he takes the white out and just sucks on the yolk.
Yeah.
That's
Straight fat content.
sure thing, golden brown.
Welcome to Some Sports Show. Fat Tuesday weekend roundup, September 14th. Welcome to the show. I feel like
That's more than 3 bitch tits.
I like how he gave you one finger as he said 3.
Well, because he wants to
That's
show
how the
that
Rain Man operates. His mind's telling him one thing, and his body's telling him.
No way I could have done that.
Sure thing, potato tits.
Tater. Hey, Tater. Hey, Tater Tits.
You can make French fries and tater tots.
Ooh, you know what goes good with Tater Tits? White Birch Brewing down in Nashville, New Hampshire. Address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
Good side of Amherst Street. Get on down to White Birch Brewing. Check out some games. It's football season. Flat screen is running. The flights are flowing. Head on down to the brewery. If you can't make it there, get it at your local beer store, wherever you get it. Tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you. White Birch Brewing. Boys, of course, we are going to be heavy on the New England Patriots as they piss their game away to the Miami Dolphins. Yet again, these fucking Dolphins, just as mediocre to poor of a franchise as you can find in the NFL, always seem to have the Patriots number at least one time a year. Brian Flores, what is the record now? 3-2.
No.
Against Belichick. Whoop-de-doo. Has a fact check. Has the Dolphins made the playoffs in that period of time?
Nope.
No.
Gotcha. And that's okay. We're not going to spend time shitting on the Dolphins, who inevitably will be somewhere in the middle or at the bottom out of the playoffs. I want to first touch on this fucking moral victory cloud that's floating around New England with Mac Jones looking as good as he did. When did everyone become a fucking green teamer that roots for the Patriots? Like, we demand excellence for 20 years. Now you have one bad year. Tom Brady's not here anymore, so we're taking fucking moral victories. No.
Rich, this goes back to Seattle last year. Moral victory when Cam threw for 397 yards and you lost at the 1 yard line.
We almost made it. We
down.
almost won.
This isn't a moral victory. It pisses me off. Never mind. Keep going, Rich.
$250 million spent in this offseason. You went 7-9. By the way, you let the greatest player in professional sports walk out the door. He won his 7th Super Bowl in your freaking eyeball. And he went out Thursday night and looked like he was 28 years old. And that's all connected. You can't get away from that. You cannot come out here and have another crappy season as Tom Brady goes and competes for another Super Bowl. It's
there's
all
one thing.
connected.
Tampa can't do a Super Bowl banner raising. They have plaques. What a pussy night.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't know why we don't. Why don't we touching on that?
Let's put it on like a slow day to touch on that because we got a lot to get to on the football. But I agree with you. And bottom line, the way you lost this game, fumbling at the 5 yard line with 3 minutes or so left, after everything pretty much played out the way you thought it was going to. You knew Tua was going to throw a shitty pick. You got the turnover. Mac gets you down there, and then you fumble it away. It's just very uncharacteristic football. To lose like that, you can never count it as a moral victory. I'm not into it. Obviously, I think everyone's going to point to the penalties and undisciplined play, the 4 fumbles, 2 lost, 8 penalties for 84 yards. The Dolphins only had 5 for 28 yards. The offense was the main culprit in the penalty barrage. I'll just give you a couple of them, and then we'll go from there. Isaiah Wynn was the first big one anyway, with that holding that negated. Wasn't quite a touchdown by Harris, but he was basically right at the goal line. That came back. They settled for a field goal. Ramadama Ding Dong fumbles the ball in the next possession or the possession after that.
That pissed me off because he didn't even fucking go for the football. He just thought he was down. And that, be a fucking man and get up and get the football. You notice he didn't see the field again until Damian Harris's helmet got knocked into his face. He didn't see the field at all. And I think, and they said it on the radio today too, the only reason he was on there is because, one, it was Brandon Bolden, him, and Harris were the only 3 backs. For whatever stupid reason, you decided to bench J.J. Taylor for the starting game, who looked very good in the offense. And James White was in there too, but he's not really a back that can run the football. Like, I think J.J. Taylor looks like a guy that can kind of do like the Dion Lewis role. You know what I mean? So it's like that one pissed me off the most. I mean, replay, it probably wasn't a fumble. His ass was probably down, but they called it on the field, and that's lack of effort. I guarantee he might not see the field again this week against the Jets.
There's a reason that Belichick is reputation is he doesn't play rookies, specifically running back rookies. Now that's more towards pass blocking, and a lot of rookie running backs aren't good at pass blocking. By the way, Stevenson got fucking blown up on his one play back after the fumble and pass blocking. But I Roberts lit him up 100%. He Cam Newton that fumble. He refused to go after it after it came out, thinking that he was already down. And you know what, buddy? You play to the whistle, especially on this team. And I'm glad that's still around. I'm glad that's still around the New England Patriots. You get benched as a rookie if you fumble the ball. It's not all fucking show ponies and unicorns down there at this point, at least. It feels that way now.
And also, for what it's worth, if you saw one of the last drives, I think in the game, they had Brandon Bolden back there instead of Stevenson. That's telling something, because once Harris came back healthy, they always question. They probably checked him for a concussion. The helmet smashed him in the face. That they brought him in, but after that, it was Brandon Bolden. So you might see J.J. Taylor get out, and you got to question a little bit your running back depth at this point. If the kid's not ready to play, he looked good against some scrubs, 3rd, 4th stringers in the preseason. If this is how it's going to be, there was questions coming out of college in Oklahoma with him holding on the football.
The question is too that Damian Harris, they ran him through the ground on fucking Sunday. He's not going to make a full season.
How many carries did he have? 15, 16?
Yeah, but he was tired. He was already taking out blows. He was in the game constantly.
No, I think he had over 20 carries.
He's running lower too. Do you notice that? He's not running.
He's running a little bit lower. We were concerned about that end of the game. Guess what? Not low enough, because he lost the fucking ball to lose the game. Let me just give you this sequence, which I think really was kind of not the backbreaker. Obviously, you had a chance to win, but I think if you took care of business in this sequence and weren't fucking around, you could have won this game by 10 or more. I'm talking about the third quarter here. So first possession, you got Brandon Bolden, by the way, gets it in the end zone and takes it out. Brandon Bolden, you're back there to catch the ball and sit down. You got sure hands. You don't have fast feet.
You don't even have to catch it anymore. As soon as it hits the fucking end zone, it's a touchback.
Mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, he got it out to whatever it was, 25, close to the 25-yard line, normal starting position, a little shorter. Brandon King gets bagged for a holding. You're back at the 9-yard line to start that drive with a rookie quarterback trying to come back from down 7. That possession, you had that Justin Herron holding call. Oh. Awful call. Mac Jones makes a nice play, 30 yards down the field to Kendrick Bourne.
Was that the one where he weaved around? He went down that was a
fucking beat. His ankles got broke, and then he had to hold him. So that play came back. There were 3 offensive penalties on that drive. 3 of them. It's the same drive, though, that Mac Jones had that beautiful 3rd and 11 wheel route to James White. Bucket. That thing was nice.
You couldn't put that any better.
Imagine Cam tried that last year.
He hit the defender in the back of the helmet.
Dude, that was perfect too. Like right to the sideline. He had a chance to catch it and run up the field. Oh God, That we haven't seen that in a couple of years. Even Brady to White, that wasn't, we haven't really seen that for a couple of years because even the Brady to White tandem kind of lost some steam. It might have been this wheel out that looks this good. Like if he can hit that, I mean, that's a big start. You think Brady and Shane Vereen back in the day, they used to send Vereen alone by himself deep. They don't do that with James White. They don't do a lot of wheel routes with James White. They line him up all over and let him catch a lot of passes out of the backfield. Wheel routes like that, that was Shane Vereen territory. And he was catching 40, 50-yard touchdowns out of the backfield, diving catches in the end zone.
And honestly, Bill, that 30-yard wheel route is an easier throw than the 16 to 20-yard wheel route that Jones just threw, because you got to kind of go up and over as opposed to out. And, I don't want to spend going nuts over Mac Jones. We'll get to him here, but that was a beautiful throw.
He made
big boy throw.
He made quite a few big boy throws, but on a couple other ones, he looked lost as fuck.
Well, we'll get there. So this possession, the first in the third quarter, they get down after that wheel route. They settle for the field goal. That's the one where Mac Jones went back shoulder to Bourne on the far side. I thought Jones had a little bit more time there. He probably could have waited in the pocket. He seemed to get sped up a little bit in the red zone. Again, we'll get there. Next possession, you're down 17-13. This was the Matthew Judon 15-yard unnecessary roughness on the kickoff. Backs you up half the distance to the goal. Just uncharacteristic. I don't think we'll see Matthew Judon make that type of unnecessary roughness play again this year.
They didn't show the replay, though. I wanted to see what actually happened because all you saw was a swarm of Dolphins around him and just Matthew Judon just in the middle of all of them. So I want to know what the hell happened on that.
Yeah, I'm fine with those. Honestly, I'm kind of fine with those penalties. I mean, there's a place and time for them. I like the toughness. You haven't really seen a lot of Patriots toughness, like not dirtiness, but like just bringing that fucking defensive swagger. Like he's not a fake tough guy like Kyle Van Noy or Dante Hightower. I think this guy's the one guy who's going to really smack you in the mouth. And I thought he showed it. I thought I thought him and Josh Uche were two of your better defenders on the field.
He had a good game. And I don't disagree with you totally about the toughness thing, but when you're down 4 in the second
there's
half,
a time. What I said, there's a time and place. What I said, there's a time and a place for it, and that's definitely not the time for it. But I think overall, he had a pretty damn good game running off the edge. He blew up, what was it, Leonberg or whatever it was, just ran his ass right fucking over. The interception, he fucking hit Tua. He murdered him.
Even the announcer said it on the game. They're like, oh, that's when you know it's a big, good hit,
We like Judon, but we also like calling people out for their shit. And that was a bad play when you're down by 4. Same drive here. First play of that drive was the other nice play that Mac Jones had to Kendrick Bourne. Bourne makes a couple good plays, whatever it was, 19, 20 yards on that. Wiped out because of a Shaq Mason blindside hit that might have been
new emphasis.
But they're
new emphasis
first week of the NFL. They're gonna pay attention to these rules. They're gonna call it. And why are you fucking hitting somebody from behind? They've been calling that for years anyway. Like it
used to be called clipping.
The play's over. It's like just fucking so stupid. That brought him back. Mac Jones gets back again. I believe this was the drive that he had 2 nice third down conversions. Backpedaling, back throw with the rush coming at him. One was to Jacoby Myers. One was Hunter Henry. Basically the same drag route, and he laid it up there nice and soft. They both slid for it and got the first down.
Hunter Henry didn't catch it. I think that. They hit the turf, and I was surprised they didn't challenge that one. And
he had the nice one on the third down, but maybe I'm thinking of Myers or Henry. One of them had.
It was Henry that you're talking about, and he dropped the ball. He didn't catch it.
Yeah, but I mean, those sequences you think are what? Those are what? There's a couple, probably 3 different drives in there. You have 14 play drives, and you got a field goal each drive. That's huge.
Well,
and these are what's leading to it is just stupid penalties, and you saw it when you're getting down close, holding penalty, driving back, and it puts you right at that field goal range, and you can't beat teams, especially good teams, playing kind of vanilla, sloppy offense like this.
No, you can't. And it stalls you out. And, especially with the rookie quarterback, keep going back to it. How many times you can go into the bucket? That was the drive that they had the 3rd and 4. He missed through to Jacoby Myers on the little, whatever you call it, on the little outrun there. They probably had the first down if it's a good throw. Settle for the field goal, down 17-16. You get the interception. You get the Tua pick that you knew was coming. You go down, you fumble the ball away. So it was just, it felt like the whole day was mistake, overcome it, mistake, overcome it. stay within the game. If you just played a clean game, you probably win by 14 going away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should. I mean, even if you convert, like I said, 14 play drives, and you get 9 points out of it, you convert one of those to a touchdown, you're winning the game. You know what I mean? Or two of them until that's your 14 points right there. Like when are these drives? That's offense from last year, where Cam Newton would march down to the red zone, and what would happen? Like that's a big problem. Like and it's carrying over to week one. I know it's a rookie quarterback, but like fix that up. Finish these fucking drives, and you're running away with this game against Miami, regardless of these mistakes that you made. Like those 3 drives, because they only had 3 scoring drives. Once in the first half, right at the fucking coming out of their first opening kickoff, they scored right real quick at the 2-minute warning, and then right out of halftime. That's
talking
it.
About the Dolphins now.
The Dolphins, like that's it. You fucking flip one of those 14 play drives, you're winning the game. Like regardless of these mistakes, you're winning the fucking football game.
Yeah, you dominated the game, right? I mean, they dominated in time of possession. They dominated in yards. They had almost 200 more yards than them. 13 minutes more time of possession. You had better. You were in control of the game. Does it make you, as the homer of the panel, does it make you feel a little bit confident that this is the type of shit that we should probably not see moving forward based on the history of Bill Belichick? And if you did clean that up, then you're probably in a better position to win these games. Do you have that well, at least these can be mistakes that can be fixed kind of feeling?
No, because you know why? This is the National Football League. You only get 17 games of this shit. And if you're already losing the first week and being all optimistic, being like, yeah, we can fix it. No, you got to go out and win. It's fucking Sunday. You got to go out there, win these games going ahead. You want it. The Bills, they gave you a present by losing to the Steelers. You should have won yesterday. You should be first place in this division right now, all alone. You shouldn't be back. I think we're last because of points for or points allowed, one or the other. I know we're like last place right now in the division by that.
Toronto Blue Jays outscored like 15 teams yesterday in the NFL. Gone.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, it's just sad. And the other thing that too is that there's one person that's very happy after watching all that, and that is Mr. Stephon Gilmore sitting at home laughing because JC Jackson is not the clear number one cornerback on his team. He cannot play the number one cornerback position. We need Stephon Gilmore back after he gets off the PUP list, because this defense was built around having 2 shutdown corners, not 1.5 half cornerback. So that's all.
Remind me the last time, Rich, if you will, what happened with Devontae Parker and Stephon Gilmore, the number one cornerback. Can you remind our friend here? So like, don't rely on
week 17. Lost your bye week because Devontae Parker smoked Stephon Gilmore.
So would you rather have Stephon Gilmore getting smoked or Jalen Mills on the outside fucking getting?
Look, we'll get to the defense. Read the email, Bill. We'll get to the defense. To answer you, I'd rather have Stephon Gilmore. Certainly, they could have used him that game.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like Devontae Parker's a Patriots. He's a Patriots killer. But I don't understand why Bill hasn't gone out and fucking signed him. He signed every other fucking Patriots killer over the career from the Dolphins.
Before we get to the defense and before we get to Mac Jones, which is next, I want to bring this up, Bill. We had a text exchange about it. I put this loss, if we're going to pick, where does this loss lie? Defense, offense, Mac Jones. Mac Jones is at the bottom. Bill Belichick is right at the top. This is a coaching loss, not only because of the sloppiness, the penalties, less so on the fumbles. I mean, that's your players. You got to hold on to the fucking ball. But you just mentioned it. The way that they handled the red zone, they got conservative. They got tight. They managed that like, I don't know, Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts in the early 2000s. Their butthole shrunk up. And I'll let you speak on that, Bill. But to your point, Ray, where they missed an opportunity with it feels like the Celtics. Like all these teams in the past 2 years that would normally be dominant, the Warriors, the Lakers, go down with injuries or COVID or whatever else, and you missed your window to go get a championship. The Patriots have missed their window to take an early lead, and that's inexcusable. And I blame it on Bill. I blame it on the coaches.
I'll agree slightly on the coaches aspect, but I put Josh McDaniels square at the top of that list. I think he's the big reason why they lost. You had, your run game was tearing them up in the first half. You went conservative. You saw what you did in the second half when you kind of opened up Mac Jones. Why aren't you attacking Miami early? You were moving the ball with the run game, and you were being too conservative in offense to open the game. And then again, I just referenced 3 14-play drives. You stalled in the red zone. It's the same shit we saw last year. You have a new quarterback that was completing 75% of his throws. You spent $100 million on 2 fucking tight ends for a 2 tight end offense. Why did you not activate Hunter Henry until late in the second half? 3 catches for what, 39 yards? You know, you were trying to get Jonnu Smith available. I think he had 4 catches in a couple. Well, he had 5 catches in the end around, which he fumbled on. Luckily, David Andrews fucking got it. But like, why aren't you guys involving these tight ends more? This is a coaching decision, and it's Josh McDaniels. He's the main reason they lost. Your defense, I don't care how poorly they may have played, they only gave up 17 points. You're supposed to win these fucking games, and it's Josh McDaniels' vanilla fucking offense. I get it, rookie quarterback, but he was 75% of his completions and 2 tight ends you need to fucking throw it. He was ridiculous against the blitz, ridiculous on third down, and you go vanilla, and try to burn out the clock in the late in the fourth quarter. That's on Josh McDaniels, and then you led to a fucking fumble. You're down 1, throw a fucking touchdown, go for 2, and then hold them. Like now, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I do. I understand that, but I don't know if that's all McDaniels. I think Belichick has a big say in what they're going to do when they get in there.
So we partially agree.
Yeah. I mean, if Bill says run, McDaniels picks the play. You know, sometimes Bill will give McDaniels the rein to kind of do what he wants, but I'm guessing at the end of the game, Bill Belichick is making that call, run. Hey, time to run. 3 minutes left. Let's burn 2 and get in the end zone or kick a field goal. That's a Belichick call, but I understand what you're saying. All right, let's get to the boy of the day, Mac Jones. You want some boner stats? Feel a little bit better about this after some trashing him, bringing him down. 29 of 39, 281 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. 14 of 18 for 112 yards when blitzed. Not bad. 14 of 19 for 102 yards when hurried or hit. He got hit 9 times, sacked once. He was taking some shots and getting back up. That was one thing that was pretty evident. In a clean pocket, 15 of 20 with 179 yards and a touchdown. He was only the 4th player ever to complete 70% of his passes or more with 275 yards and at least 1 touchdown and no picks. First since 1950. Bill, you remember those days.
Yeah, autogram.
7 yards an attempt. Kid was good. The kid was good. Did he pass the smell test for you guys?
Yep. He looks legit. He looks legit. You know, the other 5 quarterbacks that were drafted, he had the best day of all of them. He actually looked better than some of the NFL quarterbacks that have been in the league for a few years now. He looked better than Tua for sure. But yeah, he definitely passed the smell test. He looked like a legit quarterback for this league, and he looks like he's going to be a quarterback for this team for years to come. He can lead this team.
Yeah, I like everything. You know, the intangibles, I think, are there. He's saying all the right things. He's got the Belichick playbook up at the pressers, that's for sure. And I don't know how much of it is a Belichick thing. I don't know, maybe it's all Saban too. He's in, you know, those 2 systems and he's just all business, but not a whole lot to bitch about. I think, you know, first of all, his first drop back was almost catastrophic.
Oh, ugly.
Almost catastrophic.
Dude, he spun around and threw it in his feet behind him.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was bad.
That was tough. But after that, he clearly composed himself. He did look a little bit sped up at times. It felt like in the first half, once they got him in shotgun and once they started getting him in rhythm and letting him throw the ball and knock it around, he looked good. He looked really good. To your point, Bill, they probably should have done that sooner, but they had him. Surprisingly to me, they had him on some training wheels to start this game. I didn't think they'd start off as conservative as they did. And then in the end, in the red zone, maybe that's why they went to those calls, because he did look sped up in the red zone. I mentioned that play to Bourne. We tried to go back shoulder. He had more time there. They brought a couple 3-man rushes in the red zone when they were close, and he sped up his clock. So that's one thing to think about. But yeah, he was terrific. He was absolutely terrific for a rookie in his first game. They should have got that win the way that he played. Yeah,
I mean, I think one of our Friday show, we were talking like, what would it look like on offense? I mean, pretty much what we expected Jimmy Garoppolo to look in Arizona, 24, 33, 264 and a touchdown. Pretty similar to what Mac did. You know, Mac had more yards, more attempts, but he was right there. LeGarrette Blount in that game had 22 carries. So it was right there with Damian Harris. I mean, it was pretty much identical run. I mean, he ran some more plays on offense, but you're basically identical to what Jimmy Garoppolo did. Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo looked pretty much like Mac Jones did in that game.
You're talking about the Arizona
game, his first career start, 2016.
His first career start when Brady was suspended for Deflategate.
Yeah, this first career start. I mean, that's what I kind of expected, and like I said, the numbers were almost identical. And unfortunately, this game didn't turn out the way it is, but he passed the eye test. I mean, it's a good rookie debut. I mean, he's turnover free. That was huge. He was the best rookie quarterback out there. And again, I mentioned, he was number 2 in deep balls, like quarterback rating and deep balls behind only Brady. So, I mean, that's
that's 20
huge.
yards or more, right?
20 yards or more is considered a deep ball. And he was 96 rated. Brady was like 97.2 or 97.4. So, I mean, that's some pretty fucking good numbers for a rookie quarterback.
It was noticeable. Bill, you mentioned a couple of times the 14 play drives. It was noticeable that I can't think of one quote unquote shot that they took downfield.
The one to
Jacoby Myers that Jason McCourty.
That's the one I'm going to reference because that was like 30 yards down the field. That was the only one. That was a dime, and then McCourty made a fucking great play. Got there right as the ball did. I mean, that was about
it. We saw no go routes like we saw the N'Keal Harry where he turfed himself. We saw nothing like that. Even in the route tree, like the receivers weren't even running them. So
he didn't throw it in the end zone either.
Well, the problem was it looks like they were attacking it underneath, but you got to question, do they have the wide receivers that do it? As much as Nelson Aguilar led the league in catch receptions or yardage, was like 17.9 or something yardage per catch or whatever. But like, is he really that guy that you can go deep with? I think Max got good arm strength. He's got as good as arm strength that Brady did coming out. What are you laughing at? Oh, I thought you were laughing. Sorry.
No, I was yawning. I was trying not to make it obvious.
He's checking to make sure his penis was still there. He does it from time to time because the fupa hangs over. You can't just see it. He's got to do it a little bit.
You got to look at it.
Well, we'll see too. You got to remember Byron Jones and Xavier Howard are the better quarterbacks in the league. I'm not huge on Jones, but they didn't attack Howard at all. I don't think they threw his way once, and then he's the one that caused a fumble on Harris. So I mean, that's probably why you didn't see a lot of deep balls. They try to attack more underneath, but you look at Flores did. He was playing the nickel defense. He was daring him to run, and then he was dropping guys back with the offense. So what we did, I think, I kind of mentioned it in our show last week, is that I wouldn't be surprised if that was what was run. So they ran a lot of the nickel plays, and then especially in third down, they were man-to-man coverage, and they were still getting open, but. Credit to Miami's defense. That's a good defense too.
The strength of Miami's defense, they have strength in their cornerbacks there. And their front seven, I thought, played really well. I thought they played, obviously you lose Trent Brown in the first fucking series.
Day to day, though.
That hurt. God. Yeah, day to day on a 300-pound calf. We'll see how
Ray,
that goes.
How does that feel?
Ray,
day to day.
Can you give us some insight?
Day to day, you're fucked.
The rest of the offense here, let's bring a little bit. So they were at a 4.2 yards per carry. Damian Harris did go over 100 yards. I mentioned earlier, time of possession was 36 minutes to 23, 70 plays to 52. Patriots led in both categories. I did think Aguilar looked good. Jacoby Myers, sneaky 6 catches. Didn't seem like he got that many balls to me. And then tight ends, a lot of people are making a big deal out of tight ends. 8 catches for 73 yards, and we just mentioned that they put the brakes on in the red zone. These guys are going to be bread and butter in the red zone as soon as they trust Mac to throw the ball into the end zone, right? Like, that's going to be who you're throwing to. And the fact that they went up and down the field and those guys were only relatively involved in the second half when they finally let Mac throw, I'm not worried about the tight ends at all. Honestly, I'm not worried about their lack of production in this game one bit. As soon as they start throwing the red zone, I expect these guys to start popping.
I was a little surprised, though. Like Bill said, you have Xavier Howard and you have Byron Jones, 2 of the best cornerback, or not best, but better quarterbacks in the league. Why weren't you using your tight ends more? Why weren't you using that seam route? Why weren't you trying to get them involved early? It was just a little weird. And then the second half, they obviously came out with the 8 receptions, like you were saying. But still, why not do it early and often with these guys? You paid $100 million for these 2. Do it.
Well, you got a rookie. Hold on. Well, yeah. I'll tell you why. Because you have a rookie quarterback who's never played an NFL game before. From the first possession, it was run, training wheels. Let's see. They got down 17-10. They had a penalty that brought them back to 1st and 15. They threw Mac in the shotgun because they needed to. I'm talking in the third quarter now. And he looked good. So they kept going. That's it. If they could have ran the ball 40 times that game, they
probably would have. They probably would have.
Absolutely would have. They would have been perfectly fine winning 17-16 themselves, and Mac Jones throwing the ball 21 times. I think that was what they wanted to do, honestly. And then when they were forced to throw the ball, and Mac was picking them apart, like, oh shit, maybe we can do this. Where they fucked up was the red zone. They should have just kept letting them throw. Because you're right. Once they got the tight ends involved and started moving the pieces, it looked like looked like a Brady offense.
Yeah, it really did. I like what I saw at Jonathan Smith. They were kind of lining him up everywhere. Again, he was playing a little bit of that Aaron Hernandez role, a little bit of that Gronk role, that little hybrid tight end role, which I really like to see. He's fucking quick. Again, he had a bad fumble. Thankfully, Andrews, jumped on it. But yeah, to back up your point, I don't think about Mac Jones, Rich. I don't think they trust him to throw into the end zone because, again, eventually that's going to come. But you should go into this game and just have some confidence, practice them. You think about what they did in the whole offense and in the training camp was red zone offense. And then you come out the first game, like Zoe mentioned on the radio today, was red zone offense in fucking every single practice was a huge focus, especially the start of training camp. And then you come out there in week one and you shit the bed. Did you not have the plays in the red zone offense or what? But you spend $50 million on 2 tight ends that, 8 catches for 73 yards is great, but I want to see those 8 catches in the fucking red zone. That's where I want to see your impact is on the red zone. And again, I'm going to harp on again, 3 catches for Hunter Henry. That's your red zone. That's your main red zone target. If you look at what he's had success down in San Diego or LA now with Phillip Rivers, 8-9 touchdowns a game. Like he's that guy that can get the back corner a year. Sorry. Like that's the guy you need. And then the week one, you just don't unleash him like that. It's just, I don't know. I don't understand that.
Well, they protected their rookie quarterback, I think is the answer there. And Hunter Henry hasn't played all preseason, but I expect that connection to improve as the season goes on. Real quickly here, I just want to touch on the defense. 17 points is 17 points. You should win that game no matter what. However, I think people are making too big of a deal of the defense too. The only thing I'll get on the defense is the end of the game. You had him 1st and 14 with 3 minutes left, and you couldn't stop. You couldn't get the ball back.
You let him get a first down, especially in front of the 2-minute warning on 3rd down. Your run defense is what you spend a lot of money on. Godchow, Judon, you have Hightower back, Van Noy, Lawrence Guy, all these guys that can stop the run. And what do? You let Gaskins kind of run all over you, and especially
half yards per carry in that game.
In big money plays and big money stops, 3rd down before the 2-minute warning, the clock was going to fucking stop if you make that, and they're kicking on 3rd down on a stop clock. You have a chance to get into field goal range. Nick Folk was 3 for 3. Like that's where I'm having an issue with is a run defense, especially late in the game in big situations. You spent too much money on that fucking defense to let Miami run all over you with a suspect offensive line.
That they look soft up the middle. That and those inside slants, I'm going to blame on coaching. You're 1st and 14. And you're playing 20 yards off Jalen Mills. They're either running the ball or throwing short. What are you doing giving them that? So
that's where you're missing Stephon. That's where you're missing Stephon Gilmore too.
So
that's where you're missing him.
But honestly, that's the only thing I'm going to get on him for. I'll tell you, Jonathan Jones had a bad day, and Jawan Williams had a bad day. But anybody covering the Waddle kid had a bad day. That good.
Kid is quick.
He's a playmaker. He's good. And we mentioned Devontae Parker is an absolute Patriots killer.
Did Waddle not play last year? Is that what they said in the game? He was in the national championship game, wasn't he?
No, he got hurt.
It's the kid in Cincinnati who didn't play.
No.
Oh yeah, that's who it was.
Jamar Chase. He played at LSU.
One of them sat out.
It was Waddle.
Sat out the whole year.
Devontae Smith won the Heisman Trophy. Waddle got hurt in the beginning of the year, and he missed all last year, and he was the Heisman favorite.
I think Chase sat out because he's the one that was saying you couldn't catch the ball because it didn't have stripes.
Jamar Chase played for LSU. Waddle and Devontae Smith played for
Alabama. Chase said he couldn't catch the ball and had like 7 catches, 114 yards, and a fucking touchdown. Fuck out of here.
Other than that, Ray, J.C. Jackson is not a number 1 cornerback, and it's proven they cannot play the defense that they want to play with the cornerbacks in the secondary that they have. They're going to have to adjust. I know it was only 17 points, but if you weren't playing Tua Tagovailoa, it would have been easily.
He sucks too.
Sucks. Like week 4 when you go up against Tom Brady, who's just going to dissect the shit out of J.C. Jackson and make him look like a fucking terrible quarterback and not the number 1 because he's not number 1. And that's why Stephon Gilmore is needed very fast. Pay this man, give him a contract, front load it for just 1 year. We just need him here for 1 year so we can figure it out on the offseason next year. But get this guy back because we are going to get blown out against these top ranked quarterbacks that are just going to make us look silly.
Well, we should be able to shut down the Jets. I think at least you got a first test in Winston. I think their defense put them in some pretty short situations, and obviously Kamara, but that's another team that can throw the football. So maybe you hopefully get your shit together by week 4. If hopefully you're on that trajectory where Bill likes to play the first 4 as excuse me, is an extension of the preseason. And if you can at least get out of there at 2-2, I mean, you're still going to win for the first 4 games. I expect 3-1. And obviously I have to temper my expectations now after you pissed a game away. But still, I mean, you could still go into Tampa if you can win up the next 2. Going to Tampa, at home, Tampa Bay, shit, anything happen. Mac Jones could fucking light it up, and you never know.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that when we get there. But with this loss, as we wrap up the Patriots talk here, you very realistically could be a 1-3 team to start this season. Probably 2-3 because you got Houston in Week 5. Well, we all thought that.
Are you okay with that?
No, because you lost this game. If you won this game, you'd be flipped. You'd be 3-2. So no, I'm not okay. You can't be fucking pissed the game away in the NFL with a rookie quarterback when it's going to be a tight division. Anybody that takes this, we started the show off, is not a moral victory. This is not an okay win. This is a crushing win. Division rival. You're going to be fighting this team for the playoffs, maybe the division. You fucked this up. Bad loss.
I have one more point. It is a bad loss, and I have one more point on that. You can't expect a rookie quarterback, especially completing over almost 75% of his passes in a losing effort where he looked really good. You need that in a winning effort, and then you had a very winnable ball game, and you pissed it away. Like, that's a major factor. You pissed away a good Mac Jones game, right? But he's not going to have 17 good games. You look at Brady's first few starts. He went down to Denver through 4 fucking picks. Yep. He was 2-2 through his first 4. So I mean, you look at you got to understand that, but you can't expect to win these games where he's shit. Like, your defense needs to do something because he's not going to be 285 every game. No, and you pissed away his good game. You pissed it away.
Yeah, but they should tighten up everywhere else in the places that probably actually did lose in the game, penalties and turnovers. And it's going to be tight all season long. But you have to get that mojo back of winning close games. Like you did early in the Patriots' career. You lost it last year with Cam Newton. You lost close games. You need to get that back. Last Sunday was not a good start. If you're feeling bad about that, kids, and you want to calm down, relieve some anxiety, if it's still stinging a little bit, talk to Dr. Tom down in Rhode Island at Back to Basics, CBD Remedy. That's BAK, the number 2, basicsllc.com. Get a free product with every order. They got stuff for pain. They got stuff for anxiety. They got stuff for sleep. They got stuff for your shitty dogs, Ray.
Mm-hmm. Just you put it twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. It's just an oil drop, boop, boop, and it's done. And your dog is fucking normal as hell.
Shitty dogs, shitty shoulders. Dr. Tom has the answer. And not only that, he will be your personal CBD expert. He will shoot you an email after your first order. You guys can work out exactly the type of remedy and products that you need. Just head to backtobasicsllc.com. BAK, the number 2, basicsllc.com. Okay. Real quickly. Actually, you know what? We're going to skip this. Tune in on Wednesday. We did our Around the NFL kind of weekly roundup. Tune in on Wednesday for that, because we do got to get to a little bit of baseball talk, because the Red Sox are on Dickey's path to the playoffs still, after dropping 2-3 of the White Sox. What's the score currently?
They play at 10-10 against Seattle in Seattle.
Oh, that's right. They're in Seattle this week.
Past our bedtimes.
Sneaky big series, though.
Sneaky big. So a little catch up here. Blue Jays have won 9 out of 10. They're in the second wildcard spot, tied with the Sox. They're a game up on the Yankees. The Mariners and A's have dropped to 3 games back. Over the weekend, Red Sox dropped 2 out of 3. Tough loss on Sunday with Pivetta on the mound. Decent outing there. And then Saturday.
Who picked Lance Lynn pitch, though? He might win the Cy Young this year.
Yeah, 2-1 they lost that game, right?
Oh.
So, that's probably one you want to chalk up for a loss going in. Saturday, you blew a 5-run lead, but you come back and last play of the game, Hernandez, Kiki, the nice play at second, and a better catch by, of all people, Brian Dahlbeck. I know it's Bobby Dahlbeck. I'm going to keep saying Brian Dahlbeck. Nice catch.
I didn't say anything.
Bogarts is back. Chris Sale, I believe, should be back for the Yankees series in next week, the 22nd.
Damn it! I wish it was Saturday. I just got free tickets.
Sorry, Billy. They might pitch him, not against the Yankees. That's their MO. Obviously, Chris Sale went down with COVID. So did Bogarts. Bogarts was 2 for 6 over his 2 games over the weekend with the White Sox. Chris Sale's
Barnes pitched in AAA yesterday or today. I think he had 1 inning, 1K, hit a batter. But I think he's going to pitch one more inning or two maybe down there, and he'll be up probably by Thursday at the latest, I bet.
We'll see if he stays because Danny Santana was hit with COVID and Philip Valdez was hit with COVID. Their 12th player, 11th and 12th player. This will not go away. It's not going to go away. The MLB will not let them quarantine and suspend these games. It's just going to keep fucking coming. I don't know what the plan is, but the Red Sox, in my mind and in my eye, are still on Dickey's path to the playoffs. I told you, don't get swept by the good teams, beat up on the bad teams. They're currently doing that. Like you said, Bill, sneaky important series here in Seattle. Then you got 3 against the Orioles and 2 against the Mets.
Yep. So what's your prediction against the Seattle then? Are they a good team or a bad team in your eyes? For your
They're a bad team. They should win 2 out of 3 against the Mariners.
They should win 2 out of 3, but they're a pretty decent team. They can hit the ball pretty well. I mean, that's, they're fighting out there in the AL West. They're right behind. I don't even know the Houston. They're, and them in the A's are right there. I mean, they're a decent team. They haven't gone away. So, I mean, you see it. The Red Sox have had every opportunity to keep increasing this lead. They're 1 game up. They've had every opportunity, and they just keep pissing away by poor performances in the last couple of weeks. And I understand, even against Chicago, you fought back in the 8th inning, I believe, to tie it 1-1, and gave the lead up right away. And then Hendricks comes in and shuts the door right there. I mean, you got lucky to get a extra innings win on Saturday. It's just in a game. If I'm not mistaken, they were up 7-1.
It's a 5-run lead.
It was a 5-run
7-1 or 7-2.
Yeah, either way, and then they let them come march all the way back in the game. They usually won handily. So I mean, it's these opportunities that just you can't keep letting them slip away. I mean, you probably could have swept this team, honestly, but it's just tough. And especially you did steal one against Tampa, but these are the teams that you got to win these series. Got to win them.
No, have you been paying attention? Ray knows. Ray gets it.
Mm-hmm.
I laid it out for you for the Red Sox to play 600 ball down the stretch, and that would.
He's been on vacation a lot.
I know. I'm sorry. Let me lay it out for you one more time. You have. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm telling you, you just got to take 2 out of 3 from the crappy teams and 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 from the good teams. They've done that against the Rays. They've done that against the White Sox. And now you got your stretch of crappy teams to expand your lead a little bit. The Blue Jays play the Rays 6 out of the next 9 games. There you go. There's a little stretch. The Yankees play some shitty teams. They got the Rangers, they got the Orioles, and they got the Twins. However, the Twins, I believe, just beat them today. So this is the stretch that the Red Sox can make a little bit of a space between them, Blue Jays, and the Yankees. And then after this stretch, you got the Yankees. So if you can take 2 out of 3, or at least not get swept, you're going to be in good position there. That's the path. That's Dickey's path to the playoff. The Red Sox are still currently on it, as well as every COVID list possible. So we'll see if they can do it.
Yankees, say it's Yankees, Red Sox, Cole, Evaldi, or Sale. You taking the Red Sox? In a 1-game playoff. Are you taking the Red Sox in a 1-game playoff against any of them, whether it's Toronto or the Yankees?
I'll take them against the Yankees. I'm not taking them against Toronto.
Toronto's too fucking good, and their offense is mashing. Vladimir Guerrero is tied with Ohtani for the major league lead in home runs. That offense is just fucking cruising. And Robbie Ray, he's quietly in the Cy Young race too. He's discussing Ryu. I mean, Toronto's a sneaky good team, and hopefully Tampa can kind of eliminate them. Because I'm with you, Rich. I'd rather take the Yankees. I know they've made a lot of changes, but you're coming into Fenway. I just think Toronto's a better team that's built to mash everywhere.
They are better, and they've underachieved this year like they underachieve every fucking year based on their talent. And if George Springer can come back and be healthy for that game, they're a better team, and they've played well against the Red Sox this year. The Yankees are coming back to earth. I said that the Yankees would be coming back to earth. They are. They're not as good as that little stretch that they had. I would much rather you'd give me Garrett Cole versus Chris Sale in Fenway. I'm taking Chris Sale and the Red Sox. I think that's your best path into the playoffs. But like we said, if they get to the play-in game, Hein Bloom will call this season a win, and we'll have a lot to talk about in the offseason. So it's a win-win for us. This has been the Simple Minds Sports Show, September 14th, Fat Tuesday weekend roundup. We'll see you on Wednesday for our recap of the first NFL weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mets too. Oof, they're coming.
A little jarring the other night too with the Mets and Yankees.
Yeah, Baez and Lindor are fucking mashing right now.
Yeah, but they're the
Must be on your wait. Hold on. Are they on your fantasy team?
Baez, yes.
That's the only reason why he cares.
Vlad Guerrero, yes.
Yeah.
Cole, yes.
Bill, ask us real quick if we care.
No, I know you don't care. That's why I don't bring it up.
I can just tell by the players. The players
uh,
that he brings up, and he has that stupid smile on his face, like.
But I also follow.
Yeah,
I
okay,
also
Bill.
follow.